The Rams are 3.5-point favorites at Baltimore. Lamar Jackson did not look very good yesterday at practice on that sawdust field, and it's amazing how the Ravens fans get triggered. I joke that it looked like they're practicing on sawdust, and they actually thought that I believed they were practicing on sawdust. That's Bermuda grass, you idiot. Well, I don't care what it is. Obviously, it's not sawdust. It's a joke because it looked like sawdust. Anyway, it's no joke that Lamar Jackson is clearly limping. It's, I guess, going to be Tyler Huntley, which continues to be a drop from Lamar to Tyler, but still, Huntley did well when we saw him play in that loss to, who did they lose to? And he played really well.
The Packers.
Was it the Packers? It was the Packers.
And
he played extremely well. 2 touchdown passes, 2 rushing touchdowns, first time in franchise history. So the Rams, coming off of a 7-point win over the Vikings, even though Matthew Stafford threw 3 interceptions, they're 3.5-point favorites, over under 46.5. Who do you have in this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Rams here. I am. Again, I was actually a little surprised to see the Rams only 3.5-point favorites. I understand it. Baltimore is a tough place to play. There's no doubt about that. There are some people off the COVID list for the Baltimore defense that will help them out for sure. But to me, in a lot of ways, Mike, and I know we've had this discussion a little bit before, the Rams are like, this is the worst kind of, if you're the Ravens, it's the worst kind of win for the Rams to have come off of to now come to you. Because they won the game, but you're going to have a Matt Stafford who's going to be very pissed about his performance and know that he left yards and plays on the field versus the Minnesota Vikings. And he got to know he was careless with the football. So I would think you're going to get as good as Matt Stafford effort as you're going to get. As I told you earlier today on PFT, the Rams really got it going as far as run game's going. Defense has got it figured out. Special teams is there. Stafford's the big question. But the Ravens with the quarterback issue, and to me, the Ravens, one of their big advantages would be their size and their ability to maybe push around the Rams in the run game. That's why they dominated them a few years ago. They're not a great run team this year. They're not. It's just scrambling quarterback stuff. So from that, I'm going to go the Rams and ride that kind of hot hand here and say they win the game fairly, I don't want to say easy, but convincingly. I'm going to go 30-20 Rams.
I've got 30-21. I already put the score in the sheet, so I'm not copying off of you. We both have the Rams to win and the Rams to cover. And I'm looking at the stats from the game when these two teams played Week 12 of the 2019 season on Monday night, 45-6. The Ravens beat the Rams in L.A., and I think there are just enough players still on the Rams to be pissed about that, even though there have been some major changes. For example, Matthew Stafford is the quarterback and not Jared Goff. But I think that's going to be a huge factor in this. And, yeah, it feels like the Rams lost last week, even though they won, a hallmark of a great team.
Yeah.
You handed it to the opponent, and they refused to take it from you, and you still got the W. There's a chance that it may rain on Sunday. I'm not worried about it. I think the Rams understand where they are. They suffered through their 3-game losing streak. They've won 4 in a row. They're moving in the right direction. I think they get the win 30-21, and it puts another nail in that coffin for the Ravens, who quite possibly, if not likely, are going to fail to make the playoffs, which
it's crazy.
Which would have been inconceivable a few weeks ago, but too many close losses and too many guys not available, and not even John Harbaugh, with one of the great coaching jobs of his career, can hold it together for the finish line.
No doubt about it. And I think that's probably the last thing I'd like to bring up, too, is, I don't care. It's hard right now. Wink Martindale, defensive coordinator, he did everything he could possibly do last week against the Bengals. There's just nothing they could do to match up with the talent of the Bengals, and I could see that being, again, a problem here for the Ravens secondary once again, trying to match up against Cooper Kupp, OBJ, and Van Jefferson. That's what's going to be scary. And the Rams, Stafford, he missed OBJ a few times last week. They found a great way to really integrate him in the offense. That's, again, just a little more proof that OBJ is pretty good. Some reason it didn't work out with the Browns.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.